back to another episode of Bitches in Business.
Bitches in Business. I just want to say we were doing a sound check before, and Allie was going, check my levels, and then, but I thought you were going to say, hello, my lovelies, but you were like, hello, my levels. It was so funny. So that's my new thing. Also, you may be wondering, did Cher get her hair done? Because look at how dark it looks in the video. I did not. It's just the camera.
Look,
Just
we have
a-
like the same
I know.
hair color.
Love it. Love. So we are now shooting on iPhone 12 exclusively.
Yes.
And maybe perhaps we'll eventually be sponsored. Wouldn't that be great if we like said it enough?
Sponsored by Apple.
Sponsored by Apple.
Wow.
Do you think there's any podcasts that are sponsored by Apple?
Maybe like Joe Rogan.
Did you hear that Joe Rogan has COVID? I saw that today.
I just... You know what? If we're going to get into it, I'll fucking
Just
get
saying.
into it. Okay. I think he's a moron, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I don't care if you're anti-vax. That's fine. That's your choice. Don't care.
Sure.
I just think he's being very irresponsible because he has, 13 million Instagram followers. And
Yeah.
so he's saying, oh, you don't need to get the vaccine.
Take this horse dewormer.
Yeah, you can take horse dewormer if you get sick. No, you can't. First of all,
there's a lot of medical professionals that have said that that's not a thing.
Okay, but he's also rich, so he
Take
can,
all the horse dewormer you want. You'll
he
be
can
fine
afford
after.
to get COVID and like go to the hospital and get the best treatment. But
Yeah.
the average person can't do that.
No.
So I saw that on the news yesterday, and I was like, you are a fucking moron.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of people now, within the media, podcasts, radio hosts that are getting COVID or dying from COVID, and then now they're starting to make a lot of these statements after the fact that it's really irresponsible what they're doing and that they're just broadcasting a lot of this misinformation. And you're right. A lot of people that get COVID can't afford in the States to get the healthcare that they need for getting COVID.
So yeah, he can get COVID and then take whatever drugs are given to him because he can afford it.
Yeah,
you can't.
But not the average person.
No,
can.
you can't do that.
Yes, I know. It's kind of crazy.
It's irresponsible.
100% it is. So, yeah, I mean, I like Joe Rogan, but I don't listen to his podcast a lot.
No.
But, I do agree with you that it is very irresponsible to be broadcasting that kind of stuff when you're in the position that you're in. So it's an abuse of power, really.
It is.
Yeah.
Anyways, our cocktail of the week.
Our cocktail of the week. So we are making a cocktail and, good. You have it right here. So we were gifted a bottle of this wonderful rum from one of Jeremy's friends who I believe they knew each other in Kelowna. I'm not positive if his friend still lives there or not. But he sent us this great bottle of rum. It's called Dougie's Distillery.
Dogies.
It's Dougie's.
Dougie's.
So
Doge?
easy way to remember it. It's like doggy, but don't think dirty. Think Dogie. But it's spelled like D-O-E, dough, G-E, Dougie's. So it's Dougie's Distillery. They sent us a bottle of orchard rum. So it's a spiced apple rum. And what we're going to be making today is an orchard mule. So it's a spiced apple orchard mule. So you make it using their orchard rum with ginger ale, ice, and just a lime as a garnish. So very easy. We have yet to try one. So we're going to do that right now.
I hope it's good.
I hope it's good too. I'm pretty excited. They give you this like really neat little card that has 3 different cocktails on it, and then has like all their Instagram and stuff on that. So I'm gonna have a few of those cards at my work, so we can. Oh, did you already open this?
Yeah,
Wow.
I did. So we wouldn't be fumbling on camera.
Allie,
I was thinking
you're
ahead.
So smart.
I also put the ice in the glasses. I also cut the limes.
Are we learning?
Yeah, we're learning from our mistakes.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Okay, so
But I don't have our paper towels, so no pressure. Don't spill.
We'll be okay. So we're gonna do 2 ounces of the orchard rum. So let's just get on pouring that.
Oh yeah, glug glug glug.
Glug 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 glug. Oh, that's a really nice
I'm gonna
color.
put the mic next to the drink.
Yes, good call. Ready?
Oh.
Some ASMR for you guys. I hope you can actually hear that, because if you can't, that's going to be really depressing. Sorry.
You're spilling.
I'm sorry.
You're spilling all over.
It's dripping all over my leg, but you know what? It's going to be good, so we'll be fine. Okay. Let's just try a little bit. Oh, that's really good. Oh, yes. Okay, so now it says to do 8 ounces of ginger ale. I'm not going to measure out 8 ounces.
That is a lot of ginger ale.
And like my jigger's only an ounce, so I'm sorry, but we're not here forever. So we're just going to free pour. Whoa, yes.
Oh, that's going to be really strong. I'm scared.
It is going to be really strong. I shouldn't have done more. 2 ounces.
Do a little more.
Okay, a little bit more ginger ale. Because, I mean, we're not here to get hammered on this podcast. Okay.
I really like the glasses you chose.
Thank you.
They're
we'll show
sexy.
you what. Yes, so I don't even remember where I got these from. So we're going to garnish it with and Allie cut a line in the lime. Wow.
I've done this before.
This is amazing. Okay. And there we have our orchard mule.
Cheers.
Oh, that was pretty good. One more time. That was nice. Perfect. Thank you very much to Dougie's Distillery for this lovely bottle. We hope we enjoy this. Oh, yes.
I'm going to stir it a little bit with the lime
in there.
Okay,
So
I'm a little
smart.
bit nervous.
I'm a little nervous too, only because I'm not usually a rum drinker and I maybe shouldn't have done a 2-ouncer.
Oh, wow. Oh my God, it's really good.
Oh, that's delicious.
Wow.
And I don't really drink rum.
No, me either.
And I could definitely see myself drinking these. These are actually a really good, like fall cocktail for
Fall.
sure. Ooh,
For all
thank you very much.
pumpkin sluts out there.
Pumpkin slots. Hey, just so everyone knows, pumpkin spice lattes, they are back. They are official. You can literally get anything in pumpkin flavor now.
Yeah, I'm basic, but I'm not that basic.
I just don't like pumpkin enough. I'll eat a pumpkin pie, sure, but I have no interest in anything else other than that.
What's your favorite kind of pie?
Apple?
Apple.
I love apple pie. You know what? I didn't eat pie until I was like 18, 20 maybe.
I'm not
I didn't.
surprised.
I'm just so picky about stuff. So like, yeah, I just thought the whole like baked. I don't like mushy things. I'm a very textural eater. So the whole like baked mushy everything, no, wasn't into it.
Oh.
But then I had a peach apple pie, and it
Ooh.
was the best thing I've ever tasted. And
Wow.
so then I just became hooked like that.
I make a really good apple pie. I'll
Really?
make it for you sometime.
Okay, please do that. You're actually a very good baker. I will
am.
say that. So I'll eat anything that you bake.
I will.
Love it. Okay, so let's just start off with Housewives because the latest episode was on last night and it was kind of a
boy.
crazy one. So I just have I started taking notes as I was watching
Oh my God.
because
Can I just do, Erica, look at my life.
she's just okay. How about when Garcelle tried to wipe off the tear and Erica was like, don't touch
Don't.
me. You can let go of me. Okay. Why are you all doing this to me? You're torturing me. No, we're not. We're all sitting here talking about how much we care about you and how we just want you to be okay. Okay, so first of all, the episode starts off with Dorit showing wedding dresses to PK from her new wedding dress line. Okay. PK then feels the need to be naming all of these wedding dresses. Okay. The names of these are The Woman.
The actress.
The actress. Who the fuck wants to wear a wedding dress called The Woman?
I know.
Mine was called Josie by Rebecca Ingram by Maggie Sotero. Okay,
That makes
that's
sense.
lovely. They're all named after women. They're lovely, lovely names. Okay, who wants to wear a dress just called The Actress? The Pearl. It's weird.
Exactly. Because I think they said what? It's like Sophia Loren, so why not just call it the Sophia?
Sophia. Exactly. It's very strange.
Very.
Anyways. Also, I love that Dorit says that she can't get a word in edgewise around PK, and that's why she talks so much. Okay. I'm sure that that's not a thing. And
No.
I'm sorry, Dorit, you talk all the fucking time.
Oh my God. I rewatched the episode from last week and I just missed this amazing quote from Kyle.
What was it?
You ask Dorit the time, she tells you how to build a clock.
Yes, that's so true. Yes, I love that.
So funny.
Okay, then when they go to Kathy Hilton's house.
Oh my God. Amazing.
Oh, amazing. And she's got all this staff and everything. And I find it really funny how Erica was talking about how Kathy Hilton's got a reputation and how she should be the only one that's really worried about her reputation being tattered because of all the hotels and stuff. And then I kind of thought, yeah, but Kathy Hilton's reputation is already kind of a little bit tattered because the Paris Hilton documentary came out long before this season was filmed.
Yeah.
So Kathy's already been through her fair share of stuff, and they have not talked about that on the show one time.
No.
Which I find interesting because Kathy Hilton's got her fair share of scandal, or her family does, you know?
Oh yeah. daytime.
Okay, then they have caviar pie. Who even knew that was a thing?
I didn't know.
Like, what? That's how you know that you're ultra rich, when you're eating caviar pie.
I know.
How much do you think that costs?
Oh, I don't know. Because, like, I think a jar of caviar... Like, I've seen... I watched Paris Hilton's cooking show.
Is that good?
Yes.
It's on Netflix, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'll watch that.
I want to say a jar of caviar was like $4,000 or something.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate.
I liked her cooking show, but it... You know, she's already disclosed that her Simple Life character was a character. She's doing it again.
Right.
So
so she plays the character
she's
basically on the show.
So it's like, okay, well, like, we know that you're not stupid.
Like this, yeah.
So
yeah, like, okay, so that's kind of interesting, because knowing what you know now, like, you watched the documentary on YouTube. Yeah. So knowing what you know now, it's kind of like, why would you want to play that character again, especially after you're trying to kind of get away from that a little bit.
I do think that's also what Kathy Hilton's doing.
Yeah, I think that you're probably not wrong.
Hunky dory.
Yeah. What does that mean?
You know that you've heard that before.
Well,
I'm sure you got advice from Paris, like, just act dumb and cute and everyone will like you.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's worked for them for so long.
Yeah.
Then we get into the whole the dinner from hell.
Dinner Party from Hell Part 2 is what they're calling it.
Lord.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was, first of all, they got into it right away, which, like, did not disappoint. But I don't know. It's hard to be on the Erica train. She's just so over the top with the way that she reacts about everything.
Wait, one sec. I just realized that the light isn't even on in this office.
It's not, but I mean, the lighting's pretty good in here. But you can turn it on.
I'm going to see what it looks like
That's
with
fine.
the light on.
We need extra lighting. And if it turns out that it looks terrible, then we'll turn it back off. I mean, I kind of liked it the way it was before, but it's fine.
I mean, I look gorgeous. So.
Okay, then keep it. Oh my God, Allie, I love you. So, anyways, I just think that it's hard to have compassion for someone when they are so over the top aggressive and defensive.
Yeah.
You know, I think the girls have all made it very clear that they don't think that Erica had any involvement in it, but then they're trying to be there for her now. And I think they're kind of more concerned about how she's reacting to stuff now.
Oh, she's so angry.
Well, yeah. And I think they've kind of gotten over the whole, like, her, like, not divulging information now. I think they're now more focused on, yeah, you're being really aggressive. You're being very defensive. You're super angry. You're kind of being hurtful. And I think it was Dorit maybe that said this about how, like, no one's even talking about any of the victims. And so it's like, I know that your life's bad, but, like, what about all of the other people? And you have not said that once.
No.
You know? So, don't know, man. Are we getting to the end of the season almost? Because that was episode 15.
I think that we are, because all of the Housewives seasons lately have been shorter due to COVID.
Oh, right. Okay.
Especially because they keep having to take breaks when people test positive.
Right.
So I think we probably are getting towards the end.
Interesting.
I know I was looking at Andy Cohen's Instagram yesterday, and he said that he had to come back from vacation because he had to film the reunion for Beverly Hills.
Gotcha.
Which, unrelated, last week was the season finale of Real Housewives of New York. They have not filmed a reunion yet.
Oh, so that's like a really long stretch in between.
Yeah.
It's probably because New York has been so bad, though.
It's been so
cases.
bad. I've heard weird things about it, like how there was so much, like, racism going on the show.
Really?
So that, like, now it's, like, out of Bravo's hands. It's, like, gone to the higher ups at NBC that are like, they want to cancel the show.
Really?
That's just what I heard on TikTok.
Ooh, TikTok. That's where we get all of our news.
Yeah.
So the episode that was on this week then of Real Housewives of New York, that was not a new episode.
That was the season finale.
Gotcha.
And next week is a special episode is what they're calling it, and it just looks like
behind the scenes stuff. Yeah.
Secrets revealed type of thing.
I never watch those episodes.
I do, because I think they're funny usually.
It's always just like the same stuff that's already been on the show, but just like a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I just never watch it.
I like it. It's cute.
So I watched the first like 5 minutes of Real Housewives of New York on Wednesday, and they were talking about Harry. Who's Harry? Because they're all talking about Harry, and then Harry calls while they're talking about
Harry
him.
Dubin. Okay, so Aviva Drescher, you'll see her if you keep watching. She's, I believe, she's on season 6. She is fucking crazy. She has a prosthetic leg.
What?
And she is absolutely nuts.
Okay.
Anyway, so she used to be married.
Don't know why that point was relevant, but all right.
She used to be married to Harry Dubin.
Oh, okay.
And so in season 6, we find out that that's Aviva's ex-husband, and also that he's dated Sonia and fucked Sonia and
dated Ramona
and fucked Ramona and Luann.
Well, yes. Okay. Yes. So she's just been passed around the whole circle multiple times.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
is
also,
Aviva still on the show?
No, she was a 1-season wonder.
Oh, yeah.
She is nuts. You'll love her.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if I can like put the time and effort into another season. I started watching Selling Sunset again, and so now it's like, and the 3rd season's going to be coming out soon.
Yeah. So I don't know. I am in real estate, and I like it. It's okay. Meh.
What I find really interesting. So, okay, we've gone over this before, but the only person who has a real estate license on that show is Mary.
Well, I don't know if she's the only one, but Christine does not have her license.
Christine does not. What about Heather?
I believe she does.
Yes. So it's interesting, like with Christine, because now that you kind of know those things, you look back on the show and it's interesting to see them interact with their clients and stuff. Yeah. Because it's like, yeah, they're never really giving advice. Obviously, they're not writing offers.
Nope.
So how does that work then, though? So if I, like, let's say that I was working here, but I didn't have my license, could I still go and show a house?
Absolutely not.
So it must be different in the States then, because she's showing houses to clients.
Yeah.
But she can't write an offer, obviously.
I mean, maybe they get around it because they're filming it, so maybe they would just call that acting.
Interesting.
I mean, obviously, if the client is aware.
Yeah, that she's not a realtor.
Because it's for client's protection. So I think as long as the client is aware that she's not licensed, and then they could probably go with the loophole that they're filming a show and she's acting.
Right.
They could probably get away with it.
And they've also... We've come out before about that show about how some of the houses that Christine specifically was showing, that she wasn't actually the realtor for that house, and that, like, yeah, so you're right. I think a lot of it's staged.
Yeah, there was a woman on TikTok that said, like, you know, when she said that she didn't have the key to the house and she couldn't get in the door.
So she made Heather look bad because it wasn't.
So, yeah, the woman who owned that house came out on TikTok and said... Yeah,
that's my house.
I did have my house listed with the Oppenheim Group, but Christine was not my realtor.
Yeah, and so that whole thing was staged.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Anyways, crazy episode this week. I'm very much looking forward to next week. I wish it was on like every day.
Beverly Hills?
I just wish they put out like the whole season all at once.
I kind of like that we have something something to look forward to each week.
I know.
I like it.
I like it too, but I'm just saying. Have you seen the show Ballers?
Yes, I've seen like maybe 2 seasons.
Jeremy and I just got into the 3rd season. Yeah. And we really, really like it.
It's okay. It's like Entourage, but for football.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Jeremy never watched Entourage, but I did, and I really liked it. Me too. And so we started watching Ballers, and yeah, we binged the 1st season in like a day.
Yeah.
So we're like pretty into it, and we're gonna finish it out. But I'm excited. I don't even know if it's still on anymore.
I don't think
it's still filming, but I like it.
No, you should also watch The League.
Yeah, I know. Jeremy's seen it before, really and everyone keeps telling me that I need to watch that. And I know I've heard it's really good. What's it on?
Disney Plus.
Really?
Yeah.
Disney Plus has got a lot more stuff on there lately. Cool. That's good.
Have you seen Cruella yet?
No. Is it good?
Oh my God, it's so good.
Really?
It's a lot longer than I thought it would be. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes or something.
Really?
It was really long. But
movies do not have business being that long. I'm sorry.
No, but it was really good.
Okay, I'll watch it.
A lot of plot holes, I will say.
I've heard that.
A lot
actually.
of plot holes.
I've read that.
But very good.
Sometimes I just have a hard time, like, when they remake movies because they're already so good to begin with. But I know this isn't a remake. I know it's not.
It's a prequel.
It's a prequel. But I have heard it's good. I've heard that Emma Stone is good. Also, this just made me think of, have you seen the trailer for the new Cinderella remake?
No.
It looks absolutely horrible.
Oh, who's playing Cinderella?
Camila Cabello.
Oh.
But it's not like, so it's basically Cinderella wants to become a dressmaker. So she like starts her own business making dresses.
Okay.
And it's all just about like female empowerment, which is great, but they've added like a whole bunch of new songs, and it's just like, it's not really Cinderella. So my thing is, like, they just did a live action Cinderella like 6 years ago. with Lily James as Cinderella, and it was amazing. So I don't know why they need to make another one.
There's been tons of remakes of Cinderella.
Well, I watched something today. I know.
There was the one in the 90s with Brandy.
Was amazing.
Oh, I loved that.
Okay,
I loved
the
it.
one with Brandy was fantastic.
Amazing.
That's the only live action movie that should have been made about Cinderella. Like, I like the Lily James one, but still. I read something today that said this generation just likes to copy old movies.
Yeah.
Like, because I guess they're remaking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as well.
Oh, come on.
And so it was like, why do you need to remake Fresh Prince? Why don't you make something that's just as amazing as Fresh Prince? Like, why do you need to keep remaking everything that we made?
Yeah. Also, on Netflix, He's All That.
Okay.
I heard it's the worst movie ever made.
Okay, so I hate Addison Rae. I don't
even know who the fuck she is.
She's huge on TikTok. And you know what she's huge on TikTok for? Being like
like no one
that's all
can
she does,
see you
okay?
if they're listening.
Well, you're gonna
She's
have to
doing
watch.
a weird dance.
Okay, Addison Rae, literally all she's famous for is just these like new hip dances that are like really big right now. So she has like millions and millions of followers for these like dances that she does. Well, then she got put into this like hype house thing with these other 20 TikTokers, and all they do all day is make TikToks.
Oh,
okay?
God.
Now she's got songs. She's doing all of these like product placement things. Now she's the lead in He's All That. So I watched a TikTok the other day of somebody making fun of her in the movie, and so I was like, I just kind of want to see what it's about. I tried watching the first 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
It was horrible. I couldn't do it. But I could see how if I was like 15, I would love that movie. So it just doesn't speak to us anymore, Allie. We're too old.
Too old.
We're not into movies like that anymore.
I guess.
I don't know. I just feel bad for this new generation because they just don't know what it's like to just not like be on TikTok all the time, and
Yeah.
Anyways, I wanted to tell you this funny story about something that happened to me at Value Village the other day.
Okay.
So, I don't go to Value Village, but I was donating stuff at Value Village. Not that Value Village is bad, I'm just saying. So we cleaned out our garage. I had a whole bunch of stuff. I go to Value Village. I guess when you go to donate stuff now, there's like this big bin that they give you, and so you have to put everything in the bin.
Sure.
And I was like, okay. I said, so I parked along the side because there was other
They sure
cars
are picky
there.
about how
they get stuff donated. I know.
Free stuff.
I know. So I parked along the side of the building because that's where other cars were. And I went up to the door and I was like, hi, can I get a bin? And he's like, no, the bin has to stay here. And I was like, okay, well, I have a lot of things. He's like, well, I can't leave my site. And I was like, okay, so should
Can
I
you just watch me go to my car?
I was like, so can I just like pull up right here then? He's like, yeah, sure. Just come park right here. I'm like, okay, great. So I like back in. I get the bin. So I'm like standing at my car. The hood, the back door is open. The bin's literally right behind me. Like my back is touching the bin. I'm going to pick up something to go put in the bin. And this woman walks by with this huge bag of clothes and just dumps the whole thing into my bin. And I'm just like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why do you think that this is your bin that you can just put? And then she just keeps walking. So I look at her and I'm like, so I pick up the bag and all of her clothes and I like take it out of my bin so I can like put the rest of my stuff in there. And then she comes back over and she goes, what's the flavor of those wax melts right there? And I was like, oh, you mean like these ones like in this box over here that I'm donating? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I don't know. They're Hawaiian Breeze. And she's like, oh, I've got some change here. Can I buy them off of you?
Oh,
and I
my
was
God.
like, no, you can just have them. I was like, I don't need money for them. I'm donating them right now.
What
Like,
the hell?
Here, just take them. She's like, oh, thanks. I'm like, this is why I don't come here.
Wow.
Absolutely bizarre. I was there for like 2 minutes and it was just very strange. So that was my life at Value Village. Also, I also wanted to talk about businesses who don't clearly want your business.
So many.
Drives me insane. Okay, especially in the time of COVID, especially in the time where like people are trying to have a small business, everything. Do you know how many times I've called places or like sent them emails or sent them Instagram messages being like, hi, I'd like to purchase your product or I'd like to book you or whatever. And they just don't even respond. I tried calling a certain bar in town about a large reservation for my high school reunion.
I know which one.
I called them 5 times. Left voicemails trying to make a reservation. Then they finally called me back 2 weeks later and was like, oh, I'm sorry, we've been really short staffed. how can we help you? It's like, I totally understand that. I can definitely appreciate that. But at the same time, it takes 2 minutes to give a phone call. And you're passing up a huge amount of business. So why would you... I don't get it.
I'm literally looking at the business right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Okay.
So yes, I don't understand, but whatever, it is what it is. I would never like badmouth them. I just think that I don't understand why you would do that. Yeah. I mean, literally your customer service is your main game. So whatever. It's fine.
Okay, so I was on TikTok today and I am obsessed with RuPaul. I love RuPaul. I love RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes.
Amazing. So I was watching a clip today of RuPaul on the Graham Norton show.
Oh God, I love Graham Norton.
So funny.
Everybody who's ever been on Graham Norton is so funny.
Oh, it's amazing. So I just wanted to share with you.
Yes.
These are RuPaul's tips.
Oh,
if
gosh.
you ever don't know what to say in a certain situation, there's
like
3
this.
things that you can say that'll pretty much work for anything. You could literally say anything. Like, hey, you walk into a restaurant and the server's like, hey, is it for 2 tonight? You can say, I don't see how that's any of your business. And it literally works for anything.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
You can say anything. Like, ask me a question.
How was your day today?
I don't see how that's any of your business.
Oh my God, I love this.
It's real bitchy. So you can just, tell them that you're joking after.
Obviously.
But you can say it under any circumstances.
Yes, I like that.
There's also, I'll be the judge of that. Hey, it's a nice day today outside.
I'll be the judge
of that. I'll be the judge of that.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
Yes, me too. And then, thanks for the warning.
Oh my gosh, RuPaul.
So funny.
I love this.
And then Graham Norton added this one. So apparently Lucille Ball used to do this at parties. If you're ever bored at a party and you want to stir the pot a little bit, wait till someone comes out of the bathroom and then go, you should say that to her face. And then just see what happens.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we need to bring these into our repertoire and then just start doing them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
That's so funny. See, and we're having a girls hangout tomorrow, and none of those bitches even listen to our podcast, so we can do any of this.
So, I mean, if they would listen, they would know what's going on. But yeah, let's try it.
Can we talk about how at the stag we tried to do bottoms up from Real Housewives and no one cared?
No one cared.
No one cared.
No.
And we were acting really well.
I thought it was amazing.
I thought it was great, and no one even batted an eye.
They're like, wow, look at those crazy bitches.
Look at those girls downing vodka martinis.
What does that say about us?
I know. They didn't even bat an eye.
They just
about
think
it.
that we're gonna chug it.
And especially me, because I don't really drink very much. So I'm shocked that no one had any problems with that.
No.
Whatever. Bitches.
That's interesting.
I love RuPaul. I love Graham Norton. If you're ever bored, just go onto YouTube and watch the Graham Norton show and just watch clips. There's so many mashups that people have done of the top 100 clips of 2019 Graham Norton show. They're hilarious. Oh my gosh, I don't remember who the lady was, but she's an older actress who was very famous in the 60s and 70s. I don't remember who it was.
60s and 70s?
I don't know. 50s maybe?
I don't know.
Anyways.
Helen Mirren?
No, it wasn't Helen
Mirren. She was on
Mirren.
the same episode as RuPaul, actually.
No, it wasn't Helen Mirren, but it was a British actress, and she was talking about how she went and saw Laurence Olivier when he was...
Maggie Smith?
No, it wasn't Maggie Smith.
Okay.
No.
I'm done guessing.
No. It was somebody who you'd recognize. You know who it was? Never mind. I'm not going to get this right. Anyways.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
I was going to say it's the actress who plays Professor Sprout in Harry Potter, but I don't think it is.
I don't know her name.
Anyways, she was talking about how when she was 19, she went and stood outside of the stage doors waiting for Laurence Olivier when he was filming Arabian Nights or whatever. And she's like, Shia LaBeouf was on the same episode. And she's like, yeah, when he came out of the door, I creamed in my knickers. And Shia LaBeouf is like, what did you just say? Because she's this 80-year-old woman who's saying that.
Oh,
He's like, what? This show's so funny because it's a British talk show.
Yeah.
But it's on like late night in Britain. So it's, you know, like they drink and stuff and they just all sit around on the couches and like
he always has like a bunch of celebrities on at once.
Yes, like you'll have like Robert De Niro, Tom Hiddleston, Tom Hanks, and like Sandra Bullock, like all on at the same time. It's like shocking how many stars he has on there.
Yeah.
It's great. And they can kind of just say and do whatever, right? So it's, if you're ever bored, go and watch the Graham Norton show because it's hilarious.
Yeah,
so
love
good.
it.
Sometimes I like to just sit and like watch YouTube.
I love to do that. My favorite thing to do, as you know, is to get drunk and watch music videos.
I know, we do that all
the best.
time.
Yeah, try it. You'll have the best time.
Especially going back and watching like old 2000s music videos. Like, so we like drank a bottle of wine and we were watching Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, NSYNC, Lady Gaga, Beyonce.
And I like to just wait and see what comes up next because sometimes it's like something totally different.
And ones that you wouldn't even thought of.
Amazing.
I found an old Spotify playlist that I probably made like 10 years ago. But it's all these like really good songs that I liked when I was in high school, you know? So I'm like, oh, I could listen to this. Like Kiss Kiss by Chris Brown. It's a good song.
Ew.
It's a banger. I know, but like it is a good song. Okay, I've been like slowly writing down things. Okay, I wanted to talk about some new units that we have that I'm bringing in for work. So we're trying to plan for spring because everything is... We've had so many shipping challenges, all that kind of stuff, which we talked about before. So we're trying to be like 6 months ahead right now. So we're trying to plan now for all of our spring stuff. So I'm really excited about some of the new things that we're bringing in. One of them is this like octagonal barbecue hut.
Oh.
So it's like an octagonal building with a door and a few windows. On the inside are benches all the way around. And then the middle has like a barbecue grill that has a table around it, the grill in the middle, and then it has a chimney up to the top.
Oh, wow.
So you're supposed to like sit all inside and drink and like grill.
How big is this unit?
So it's 90 square feet.
Okay.
So it's not very big. Like it's a bit smaller than this office because you need a permit for anything over 106.
Right.
So we made sure that you don't need a permit for it, but it could sit about like 6 to 8 people, let's just say. So I mean, really, like that's pretty good. You get a couple couples over and you make up some food on the grill and you sit around and just drink and you just hang out, and it's kind of just like a fun entertaining space in your backyard, but you can use it all year round, which is really neat. So I'm very excited about those. We also have these cool things. They're called kiosks, which are like basically they have 2 windows that flip up, but then you can close them for all seasons. And they have 2 like tables that kind of come out from them. So they're really good at like concession stands or campgrounds, ball fields, fairs, whatever. So I'm very excited about those. And then we also have a bunch of new flower boxes that we're bringing in as well. So they're really nice, high quality, pressure treated and stained flower boxes, and they're in different sizes, so they're really good like for your back deck or whatever, and then you don't have to do anything to them because they're already ready to go.
Wow.
I'm very excited. I know. And then we have this new children's playhouse that we're bringing in and a new picnic table. So what I'm trying to do is bring in things that are like complementary to the sheds and to the cabins because I'm having such a hard time getting as much product as I want. So I'm trying to bring in a lot of the stuff that I can actually sell. So then now I can like throw in a picnic table when you buy a shed and that kind of stuff.
Cool.
I know. I'm very excited. And then we have 3 new style of cabins that we're bringing in as well. So make sure you check out our website, packroomls.ca, so you can see all of our new stuff. I'm very excited. Right now, what we've kind of been deciding on doing is like collections. Instead of having our full catalog you can choose from, we're just saying this is our fall collection, this is what we have available, here's how many we're going to have for the rest of the year, and then we'll do a spring collection as well. So now I kind of feel like a fashion designer even though I'm not.
Check out my fall collection.
I'm very excited, but like the marketing opportunities are endless.
That's awesome.
I'm very excited. It kind of like helps between the monotony of waiting for stuff to come in, because now you have to like constantly change your business model and your business practices and just the way that you do things, you know? So it's very exciting. So we have a lot of things planned for the next few months. We're going to do a big open house in the springtime. And another thing that we're also going to do, we're trying to decide whether we're going to do this for Thanksgiving or for Christmas, but we're going to try and do a canned food drive between all of our companies. And we're going to see who can raise the most like non-perishable food between all three of us. So I'll let you guys know when we're doing that because I want to win, obviously.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I know. I'm very excited. What's going on with work, Allie?
Okay. Well, I'm just going to share with you a little bit of a market stat update.
Ooh, perfect.
Because we're in the first week of September, so we've got the market stats for August. So I'll just let you know. What do you think the average sale price of a single family home is in Nanaimo?
Okay, so a single family home means one that doesn't have a suite, right?
No, could have a suite.
Oh, okay.
Just like a house.
$800,000.
You're very close, actually. It's $765,232.
Wow.
It's an increase of 19% over August of last year.
Wow.
That's a big jump.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And that's just for Nanaimo.
That's just for Nanaimo. So
Wow.
the inventory is much, much lower than it was last year.
Right.
So like everything that's hitting the market is getting sold. So, I mean, this August, 130 single family homes in Nanaimo were sold. Mm-hmm. It's not that many.
No.
That's because inventory is so freaking low.
Wow.
So
yeah, because when you think about it, that's only like 1% of the amount of people that live here. Well, I guess not. That's not really, but never mind. That doesn't really make sense.
Scratch that.
Never mind.
But like, that's just insane. And that is a 5% increase over last year, but the demand is so much higher. So,
right.
I mean, that's just insane.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I was talking about this with my tenants because my tenants didn't find anywhere to live.
So where did they move?
They had to move into a storage locker. Like they put their stuff into a storage locker and then I guess they're just living with friends until they find something. But they were talking about how
people, don't give your notice.
Don't give your notice until you actually have somewhere to live. But they were talking about how difficult it is to find anything. And they said that they were searching and searching and searching and it was just impossible to find anywhere with a vacancy and that wasn't super expensive. And so, I mean, yeah, the vacancy rate is ridiculous. There's no houses to buy. It's just...
Listen to this. In Parksville, Qualicum, the average price of a single family home is $858,405, which is an increase of 27%.
That's insane.
This is just,
wow.
I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but this is unsustainable.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Because especially in a place like Parksville, I mean, are houses normally, though, more expensive in Parksville, Qualicum than they are in Nanaimo?
Yes.
Okay. So that's a normal trend regardless.
It is. But I mean, but like the average house is $858,000. That's just insane.
Yeah, I mean, who's buying those?
Rich people.
Yeah, exactly. Because the
Not
average person
me.
can't afford that.
Right now in Nanaimo, the average price of a condo is $391,425. That's an increase of 30%.
That's crazy. I mean, realistically, remember that apartment that we looked at? The very first one I think I'd ever looked at.
Yes.
It was like 280 something. 290 something? No, it was low.
It was less.
It was low 2000.
It was like
225.
I think it was even less. I think it was like 215.
I think you're right.
There's no condos that are that cheap. No, there's just not.
Impossible.
It's not. And that was a nice one too.
That was a very, very nice one. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's impossible to find anything under $300,000 now. You know, so then even as a first-time home buyer, you think, oh well, maybe I'll just buy a condo. You're still spending $400,000
more money on a condo than people were spending on houses 5 years ago.
Yeah, my mom and I were talking about this. She bought her first house in the early 2000s for $116,000.
Yeah,
and it was a 3-bedroom house, 2-bathroom with a suite downstairs.
that's just crazy.
I know.
We're due for a market correction for sure.
You'd assume that. It's nuts. Okay, so then, so that's just houses and condos. Mm-hmm. Does it talk about commercial too?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is just residential, but the average price of a townhome in Nanaimo was $545,771, an increase of 29% over last year.
That's crazy. That's only $100,000 less than what we bought my house for.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Just thank your lucky stars. I know I keep saying that, but like honestly, you couldn't have bought it a better time.
It's our 1-year anniversary yesterday.
I know.
It's very
How exciting.
I know. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Everything happens for a reason too, right?
Yes.
But like Allie has said before, you don't want to wait. I mean, because things just keep going up. And so if you're contemplating getting in the market, go and see a mortgage broker now. Find out what you're able to do now.
And you might not find the absolute perfect house.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're never going to find the most perfect home. You just, like, you know, you can change things. You know, if you don't like the flooring or you don't like whatever, you can change things. I have some clients that were looking in Parksville. They've been looking seriously for about a month now, and the market has even changed so quickly, and there's even less inventory than there was when they started looking, that I just don't know if they're going to find what they're looking for in their price range.
Yeah, and so it's like after you've seen so many houses and then they don't, you know, you don't want to put that much money on, or you don't want to put that much of a down payment in, or whatever. You don't want to offer that high, and then you miss out on it. And then it's like you could have gotten that house had you just been willing. And yeah, it's hard.
Yep.
Gosh, hey. Yeah, one thing that I did learn the other day, I was talking to my mortgage broker about just looking into like using the equity of our house to purchase something else.
Right.
She said something that was interesting that I need to look more into, about how taking equity out of your house is like a bit of a process. Mm-hmm. So you have to do that first before you can then buy something.
Right.
So like having the piece of property that you're interested in is great, but you may not be able to, you can't do that all at the same time. Like you can't like take the equity out of your house and then use it to buy something all in the same kind of transaction, in the same process. You have to like get things ready to go for taking the equity out of your house first, and then use it, which I thought was interesting.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I never really thought about it like that, I guess. I guess maybe I kind of thought it as like using it as like collateral or leverage or something to purchase something else, but I guess it's a bit more of a process. So that's just something that you might want to consider as well. If you're like, you know, wanting to take advantage of your house price increasing and using it to invest into something else, talk to a mortgage broker about it right away, because it might be a little bit more than you think. And especially with how fast houses are selling, you know, don't fall in love with a piece of property until you actually know that you have your ducks in a row. Exactly. How's your piece of property going, your big piece of land?
Lots of interest.
Good.
No offers yet.
Still available.
I've had people reach out from the podcast, which is awesome.
Yeah, we've been getting some messages about it, which is great.
So thanks for sharing. Appreciate that.
It's a nice piece of land.
It's awesome.
I want to buy it. Like it's I think that it would be perfect for somebody who's wanting, you know, a nice big acreage for themselves and building their dream home on it, and still, you know, right in the middle of the city almost, but you have your own space and it's private. Yeah. Do you know if you can use all of the wood that's on that piece of land?
Not all of it, no. Because the riparian area needs trees.
Right, okay.
So you'd have to get... what is it called from the city? Basically, just get
like a logging permit.
But there's I'm just drawing a blank right now. Sorry. You'd have to go and talk to the city, and they could tell you what trees you can take down and what area
you're allowed to use. Yeah. Interesting.
But, and I mean, you'd want to leave the trees up anyway. It adds privacy and sound
100%.
barrier.
And a sound barrier, because it's not right on the highway.
It's very close.
Yeah. Okay.
It's close to the highway, but I mean, who cares? You're right by the lake.
Yeah, exactly. Does any of the piece of property have a view at the lake? Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. A nice view, actually.
Yeah, it's great.
Did you see that they just passed a huge development permit for the prison?
No.
So I was reading about this in the newspaper. The city has basically allowed for like more variances so that they're allowed to use more of the piece of property, right? Because they want to do a lot to the property, and they want to build like, you know, better fencing and nicer outbuildings and nicer facilities.
From the prison.
Yeah. So basically, they're trying to make it like a much better facility for the residents. That's what they call them, residents.
Okay,
not prisoners.
Prisoners.
But sure.
Residents not by choice.
Not by choice. By consequence. Almost.
Okay, so I just wanted to touch on this very briefly. I'm not trying to be controversial, but like...
We're going to be controversial. I love it.
Once again... Don't care if you're against the vaccine. That's totally cool with me.
We're getting back into this. Okay.
Totally cool with me. Don't care. Live your life.
Sure.
if you want to go and protest the vaccine,
I was going to talk about this as well.
If you want to go and protest the vaccine, go and do that. You have a right to protest. Go to like the park. Go to Maffeo Sutton Park. Go to somewhere. Don't protest outside the fucking hospital, you morons. Stop it.
Yeah, so I have a lot of nurse friends on my Instagram and my Facebook. A lot of people are sharing this stuff. Huge shout out to the healthcare workers, by the way, because first of all, before COVID, your lives were already really difficult. It's a hard job.
Absolutely.
Emotionally, physically, everything.
Yeah.
You already were dealing with, long hours, getting abused, everything.
100%.
Now you add all of this into it. They've been working for a year and a half dealing with all of this stuff, working longer hours, getting paid the exact same, getting expected to do more and more. And then they have to come to work and deal with this. And there's people getting physically assaulted.
Yes. And did you see in Vancouver, people were blocking the ambulance from accessing the hospital? Like, what the fuck are you doing? You are an idiot. And if you do that, if you go and protest at a hospital, I'm sorry, but should you, even if you don't have COVID, you need hospital care, you should not be allowed.
Well, so this is kind of the thing. We were talking about this yesterday about how, so these people may not need healthcare right now, but they eventually may need it.
Yes.
And they're affecting people who are having strokes, heart attacks,
car accidents,
who need medical attention right now. And that's the thing is, like, you should be denied your health care if you're going to act like
this. And I'm sorry, but, like, do you think the doctors and nurses are the ones that are enforcing the vaccine passport?
No.
They're not. They probably... They could be against that.
There are a lot of people
doing?
Exactly. And it's all misdirected in the wrong place. And I saw a really good post today.
Go to the Parliament buildings.
Well, that's the thing. So I saw a really good post today, and I'm just going to pull it up so I can just read a little snippet of it, because that's kind of exactly what it basically said was. So one of the things it said was, one of the great rights of a strong democracy is the right to peacefully protest. You're allowed to use your voice. But with the right to use your voice comes great responsibility. So use your voice wisely. Protesting the idea of mandatory vaccinations for healthcare workers by protesting outside of hospitals, jeering at patients, nurses, and doctors cannot ever be thought of as using your voice wisely.
No.
Do you want to make your voice heard? Run for office. Our government really is made up of the people who want to have their voice heard. Want to assemble en masse to voice your opinion? We live near the legislature. They have a beautiful lawn for such events.
Absolutely.
You'll likely make the 6 o'clock news.
Right.
There are ways to use your voice, but that is not one of them.
No.
And when you're harming other people because of your choices, that's when I have a problem with it.
I have a huge problem with that
If you don't want to get the vaccine, then don't get the vaccine. If you don't believe in the passport, like, fair, that's your choice. But don't make it other people's problems. And this kind of goes, there's a guy on TikTok right now who is gone viral because he lives in New York and his wife is suffering from stage 4 breast cancer. And she was kicked out of the hospital, but basically they said that they didn't have a bed for her any longer because they needed the bed for somebody who had COVID.
Yeah.
And so he was really upset because he said, you've gone this long without getting your vaccine. You weren't scared of COVID before, otherwise you would have gotten the vaccine.
Yeah.
Now you have COVID and you've come running to the hospital so that you can get cured, and you're denying other people their medical aid that they desperately need because you have COVID. And I'm sure that that's just one story of many stories, and so this is what, like, I have a huge problem with, is that you're affecting other people by your choices. And you all have a right to say whatever you want to say, but I just don't understand getting up in people's faces and pushing them, verbally and physically abusing people for choices that aren't theirs.
I can't even talk. A Nanaimo man spit on a nurse at the Nanaimo hospital yesterday.
That's ridiculous.
What the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. Like, at what point do you... That's what I don't understand. And I've said this for so long because we dealt with so many people, like, similarly in the restaurant, people that would yell at you and berate you over nothing. And that's what I don't get. Is
my burger took 20 minutes.
I don't want to pay 75 cents for another ketchup. I just don't get why people have made this decision that they feel that they're better than other people or higher than other people, that they can act that way to another human being and actually make them like degrade them because of their opinion. You know, I would never ever treat another person like that. No matter how strongly I felt about something, I would never do that. And so it just shocks me though that there's not just one person that's like that. There's a lot of people that's like that, and they congregate together.
Exactly. The lesson here is be fucking nice to people. And don't be an asshole.
If you have opinions, like, then deal with them in a responsible way that doesn't affect other people. And, you know, like, make a fucking podcast and talk about it. Go on your Instagram and talk about it.
That's
like
what we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why people feel the need to do that kind of stuff. Also, I think it also has to be said, social media is really hard right now because there's so many different opinions. There's so many different people saying all these different things. And I know a lot of people feel bad because there's like this tension and this like dividing it in the sand, you know? And so it's hard. It's hard to go on social media every single day and see all these different opinions and like feel bad about yourself because of what you're saying or not saying or posting or not posting or whatever. And at the end of the day, like, I think you got to be true to yourself and you just have to be true to what you believe in. And if that's not saying anything, then that's fine. If that is saying something, then that's fine too, you know?
And it's okay to have a difference of opinion.
Totally. Well, I shared something that said this morning, actually, because
you don't have to agree with everybody. That you just have to be respectful.
If two people always agree, it's a sign that at least one of them isn't thinking critically or speaking candidly. Differences of opinion don't have to be threats. They can be opportunities to learn. Intellectual friction isn't a relationship bug. It's a feature of education. I thought that was kind of nice.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, at the end of the day, you're never going to, I mean, Jeremy and I, we have very different stances on a lot of different things.
Yeah, so do me and Kurt.
Yeah, and in the grand scheme of things, we do feel the same about some things. It's just that we maybe have differences of opinions on how those things happen or how they get to that point. And that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to find a way to communicate that and like work together on it. But like, yeah, the whole protest thing, I don't really get that.
I wrote in my notebook, protesting outside hospitals equals stupid.
It does. Well, when we were in Vancouver last weekend, there was a protest about climate change. And
how do you protest climate change?
I'll tell you how you protest climate change. You have 30 police officers that have to shut down the streets while you walk up one of the streets. They had to, so we were watching them because there was 10 cops on their motorcycles, and then there was at least like 15 more on their bikes, and they were waiting for the protest to come up Granville, and then they all of a sudden had to shut down the whole intersection, reroute all of the vehicles elsewhere so that the climate change could come up and then go up West Georgia. And like, so first of all, the amount of money that goes into this whole thing to have like 30 cops that have to do all of this stuff. And then the amount of people that were affected by that. Like, I don't like climate change either, and I'm not very happy with how it's affecting the earth, and I'm like kind of scared about that too. I'm just not a protesting type of person, so like I would never do things like that. But I also don't believe in protesting things that affect other people like that, because like protest in front of the art gallery where no one's driving and it doesn't affect anybody. Yeah. Like, you have literally shut down every city block from the bridge up to West Georgia. Like, that's crazy. And how is that actually helping climate change? It's not.
Maybe I'm just ignorant here, but like, please tell me how.
I'll tell you how.
Helps things.
It's because they're just trying to get the word out. They're just trying to get you to think about it. That's all they're trying to do. They know that they can't personally change climate change. They can't do anything about it. They're trying to get the word out, and that hopefully if enough people agree, then hopefully we'll make a change.
Well, most people, not most people, a lot of people deny climate change.
I know.
Which is a whole other topic.
But the thing is like... You can sit here and say that, oh, I'm just one person, I can't do anything about it. But if you put enough time and effort and money into it, one person can make a difference. And so at the end of the day, you don't want to discredit someone or a group of people by saying, oh, just don't do anything because nothing will be done. A lot of things have been changed with a lot less effort put in, you know? So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if you can get enough people to follow you and make a change, then you never know, right? But... That's a hard one that you're going to fix by
real
walking up
political on this episode today.
Well, you know what? We've never been political until now. No. So I think it was due. We've always said that we just didn't really want to talk about this kind of stuff because we don't want to offend anyone. No. And we don't want to like pass on our opinions or judgments onto other people because that's not who we are. But at the end of the day, I think that like we have to also speak our opinion at some point too, because it rounds out who we are and it lets people know who we are. So that's fine. And if you don't fucking like it, then don't fucking listen. So. I mean, I think you pretty much learned that before now. So our followers are people who watch Housewives.
Like-minded bitches.
Exactly. I love it. We have to figure out who our next bitch is going to be as our next guest bitch.
Yeah. Well,
if you want to be a guest bitch, you hit us up.
Slide into our DMs.
And Jackie Schimmel, if you're listening, we'll have you on anytime.
She's not.
She could be. We're going to tag her. Maybe, is she still in Paris?
No.
She's back.
She landed and she forgot that she moved, so she drove to the wrong house.
No. Wait, so she moved like while she was in Paris? Like her whole house was moved?
No, she moved like a month before she even left.
Are you serious? That's hilarious.
Yeah, she drove to the wrong house.
Oh my God. You know that you're like rich when you fly home from Paris and I drove to my wrong mansion because I didn't know I still lived there. I don't know. When have you ever done that?
I've never done that.
I've never done that.
But I never move.
Oh yeah, that's
except for sometimes.
That's a good point. Okay, well that was very contradictory of what
I've only lived in 4 houses in my whole life.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I think that I've lived in like at least 10 or 12.
Yeah,
or more.
You've lived in a lot since I've known you.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so since I've known you, I've lived in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least 6 or 7.
Okay, and I've lived in 2 since I've known you.
Okay, well, whatever. But a few of those were my mother's house while I was still living at home.
That's fine.
Okay, then I moved out into my own townhouse. Then Melanie made me move into another townhouse, even though we didn't need to move into another townhouse. And then 2 months into our 1-year lease, she was like, I think I'm going to move in with my boyfriend. So then we had to break our lease. So then I had to move back in with my mother at a new house. So, I mean, that's not my problem.
And then you moved in with Jeremy.
Then I moved in with Jeremy, and then we bought a house. So, I mean, fucking forgive me that I've had 6 houses, okay? Before that, there was at least like 4 or 5 in Nanaimo. Then I lived in one in Parksville, another one in Nanaimo, and then I lived in Vancouver and Victoria before I moved to Nanaimo. So, like, I've lived in at least like 15 houses.
Okay, well, I lived with my parents.
Yes.
Then I moved in with my grandma when I was 18.
Right.
I lived there for 5 years until she passed away, and then I moved in with my boyfriend at the time.
Wow.
And then
you stay in places for a long time.
And then I moved into my place with my current boyfriend.
Look at you go. Mm-hmm. So when are you going to buy something, Allie?
Probably next year.
Probably. Where specifically, like, where would you move?
I don't know. That's a very good question.
House or townhouse, or what are your thoughts?
Well, I have dogs.
Right, so you need a house.
I'm kind of limited due to strata restrictions.
Right.
So,
and like backyard and everything.
I need to live in a house. But
Fair.
I have a few neighborhoods that I love.
You like the neighborhood that you're living in.
I'm in Brecken Hill and I love it. My favorite neighborhood is Departure Bay.
I like Departure Bay as well. I've always liked those houses along Departure Bay that have been there since like the 50s.
I love like a 70s house.
Me too.
But updated.
Yes. Modern.
That's my favorite type of house.
Yeah, well, we were kind of talking about that last week about you get the bigger pieces of property, you get the bigger houses. A lot of the times you could easily put a suite into those houses. Yeah.
I love a BC box.
Wow, that's going to be...
That's what he said.
That's the name of this week's episode, folks.
I love a BC box.
I love a BC box. And on that, I think we'll cap it off.
Okay.
This is a great episode.
That was good.
That was good.
Yeah.
I like how we reassure ourselves every week that like, wow, we did a really good job.
Yeah.
I like us. We're good at this.
I like us.
And we're slowly getting better at producing our own stuff.
Yes.
Figuring it out. We've double checked that we are both recording on video and recording on audio.
And we can see it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, we've got a really good setup.
We've got a good setup.
We've talked about potentially a new location that we're trying to figure out. So I think
the lighting in here is good.
The lighting is good. I will say that.
Although, with it getting dark earlier,
I know,
that might not
that.
be true. We'll be podcasting in the dark.
I know. So I thought about that because we've been so fortunate that we started podcasting in like the spring. So the light has really been on our side.
Yeah.
So
at this time, we record in the evening. So
we're just going to have like 5 ring lights all around us. That's going to be our lighting.
Anyway, thanks so much for listening.
Yes. Thank you for listening. Find us on Spotify and on YouTube, Bitches in Business. And then you can find me on Instagram at shero.watt.
And at Allie Morrison.
See you next week.
Bye.